I'm Kateri.
I'm Rachel.
Do you ever feel like this?
I could never be a saint.
I do not have stigmata.
I can't bilocate or levitate.
I cannot survive solely on the Eucharist.
I don't have visions of Jesus and Mary.
I don't live centuries ago.
I don't even feel called to be a nun.
I can't be a saint. But hold up, we are all called to holiness.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you Saint Gianna.
One of the reasons why I chose Saint Gianna as my confirmation saint is that she presents kind of an everyday kind of holiness. She lived in the 20th century, she was a wife and mother, and she never had visions or stigmata.
But even still, she lived her call to holiness, which culminated in a final heroic act at the end of her life. This is her story.
Gianna Beretta was born in Italy on October 4th, 1922, the feast of St. Francis. This was cool because both her parents were lay Franciscans, and Gianna herself exhibited many Franciscan values: simplicity, joy, generosity.
She was the second youngest of her family, with 7 siblings. Her family was very close and very faithful, praying the rosary every day and attending daily mass.
When she was 15, Gianna attended a retreat that would have a profound impact on her spirituality throughout her life. The retreat was based on the 4 last things: death, judgment, heaven, and hell.
During this retreat, Gianna made a list of resolutions. She decided, I resolve to do everything for Jesus. Every work of mine, every trouble, I will offer it all to Jesus.
She also resolved, I prefer to die than commit immortal sin. And she made a firm commitment to study even though school was difficult for her, obey her teachers, and also to not attend immoral or scandalous movies. And guys, this was in the 1930s.
During her college years, St. Gianna was involved in a program called Catholic Action. Through this movement, she led activities for people around her age. She had a goal to serve the whole person, body and soul, as she organized activities like country outings, plays, and treasure hunts, along with retreats and spiritual conferences.
During the conferences she led, she would often focus on the fact that the duty of a Catholic is to make truth be visible in him or herself, and to be always living witnesses of the greatness and beauty of Christianity.
Living witnesses of the greatness and beauty of Christianity. Yeah.
Even though school was difficult for Gianna, she'd eventually pressed ahead to become a doctor, a choice which her friends said was natural, because through it, she exercised the charity of Christ. One time in her medical profession, a man came to ask her for medicine for his wife to have an abortion, and she got angry and said, "You come to me to ask for it?"
For a while, Gianna wanted to use her medical skills to become a missionary in South America like some of her siblings.
Pope Francis is from South America.
But around this time, she met a man named Pietro Mola, and they fell in love.
She went on a pilgrimage to Lourdes to ask Mary what she should do with her life, whether she should get married or become a missionary in South America. Although she did not receive an answer during her trip, right after she got back, the first person she saw was Pietro. So she saw this as a sign from Mary, and Pietro and Gianna were married.
They had 3 children, whom they loved very much. But when she was pregnant with their 4th child, she had complications that would eventually turn her everyday holiness into one last great act of love and sacrifice.
It turned out that there was a painful cyst growing along in her womb, along with the baby. Choosing not to end the pregnancy meant putting her own life in grave danger. However, she chose life and her baby girl was born. And then only a couple days later, at the age of 39 and after much suffering, Gianna died.
However, her beatification mass in 1994 was attended by her husband, her surviving siblings, and her children, including her youngest daughter, named Gianna Emanuela.
Her daughter got to speak, saying, "Thank you, Mother. Thank you for having given me life, twice, in conception and when you permitted me to be born, deciding for my life. Intercede so that all mothers and families may always come to you in confidence."
So, what can we take from St. Gianna's story? You don't need to have stigmata or miracles, or even be a nun or priest to be a saint. Most of us are called to marriage, and simply be faithful in little things.
When we do this, we will have the courage and strength to do big acts of love when the time comes for it.
So, don't think that you're not called to be a saint.
Learn to love in everyday moments.
Go solve a puzzle.
And be holy. Bye.
Bye!
I have a cool camera that manually focuses.